A very good afternoon to all of you friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of the entire team at Gradeup, I welcome each and every one of you to India's largest online education platform. So I welcome each and every one of you for today's live session as well. A very good afternoon to all of you friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. I am sure that many of you are getting ready for tomorrow's examination, and of course there will be a number of students who are also getting ready for CLAT. Both these two exams are going to happen in the next 3 days. Tomorrow, that is the 26th of September, ALIT is going to happen. So ALIT is going to be conducted tomorrow, and we will have an exam analysis of ALIT at 2 p.m. in our YouTube channel. So to know more about the kind of questions that came in ALIT, what might be the kind of cutoff for ALIT 2020, do stay tuned to Gradeup's CLAT channel, where at 2 p.m. tomorrow, at this time, just 24 hours from now, we will be having an exam analysis, the exam analysis for ALIT 2020. CLAT is also scheduled on Monday, that is 28th of September, and the analysis of CLAT is going to happen again at Gradeup's CLAT platform at 5:30 p.m. So ALIT is happening tomorrow and CLAT is happening on Monday. Gradeup will bring to you analysis, a detailed analysis of the kind of questions that came in ALIT as well as in CLAT, and you can watch us live and ask your questions or your doubts. Okay? Before we begin, let me tell you that Gradeup brings to you Gradeup Super for unlimited access to all structured live courses and mock tests. The subscription is available in 3 options. You can subscribe for 12 months, 24 months, or even 1 month. Okay, so do subscribe to Gradeup Super. All of you who are watching me live right now, I would request all of you to download the Gradeup app, and subscribe to Gradeup Super for unlimited access to structured live courses and mock tests. So let us begin with today's class. In today's class, friends, we are going to solve some important questions. Today we are going to solve some important questions. So let us begin with today's class. Read the passage very carefully, and then we have to solve some questions relating to the passage. Now this is a CLAT format of revision, okay? I guess you guys are done reading with the first slide. Moving on to the next slide. Okay. So this passage relates to a special committee that was formed after the Nirbhaya incident. Committee was formed after the Nirbhaya incident to suggest what kind of amendment is required insofar as the Indian Penal Code and other criminal laws are concerned relating to rape. This passage relates to after Nirbhaya. This incident happened after Nirbhaya. A judicial committee was set up under the supervision of former Chief Justice of India, Justice G.S. Verma, Justice Leela Seth, the former Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, and former Solicitor General of India, Mr. Gopal Subramaniam, were part of this committee. Okay, are you guys done reading with this slide? Are you guys done reading with this slide, friends? Okay, fantastic. I hope you guys are done reading with this slide. So let us move ahead to the next slide. Okay, I'm sure that you guys are done by now reading with this slide. I'm sure that by now you guys are done reading with this slide also. Let us move to the next slide. Are you guys done reading with this slide also? Are you guys done reading with this slide also? Okay, so let us begin with the questions. Let us begin with the questions, friends. Let us begin with the questions. Please tell me the correct answer. Here is a girl who was raped by a 23-year-old man. Consequently, she entered a permanent vegetative state. The man was found guilty by the Supreme Court and was given a death sentence. Which international treaty can he resort to in order to reduce his death sentence? The correct answer is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Absolutely, the correct answer is option B. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, which is also known as ICCPR. Okay? ICCPR. Am I clear, friends? Did you understand? Okay? Okay, fantastic. Moving on to question number 2. Moving on to question number 2. Okay? Read the question very carefully. Here is a person who has committed rape. He was given a death sentence under 376A even though the victim did not enter permanent vegetative state. Now what is the correct answer? Most of you have given me the correct answer. He cannot be sentenced to death as the victim entering a vegetative state, or death of the victim is mandatory for the offender to be sentenced to death. Option C is the correct answer. Great. Very good. Very good. This is how you should answer, friends. This is how you should answer. Very good. Moving on to question number 3. What does the author says from the passage? Okay, what can you conclude from what the author has stated in the passage? Very good. Now, although the committee, and if you see across the world, around 80 to 85% of the countries across the world has abolished death sentence, whereas India not only has failed to abolish death sentence but has brought new legislation which gives death sentence. So the correct answer is option D. The author feels that India has not only failed to abolish death penalty but has strengthened it by enacting new laws which prescribes for death sentence. Am I clear? Moving ahead to question number 4. The committee headed by J.S. Verma, Justice Leela Seth, and former Solicitor General of India, Mr. Gopal Subramaniam, did not suggest death penalty as a punishment for rape. Why? Because there are a number of laws across the world suggest that death penalty needs to be abolished. And keeping in mind the interest of the society and the fact that the current thinking of the world, the current thinking of this progressive world is all about abolishing death penalty. So the correct answer is option C. Very, very good. Death penalty, they did not recommend death penalty taking into account international law, larger interest of the society, and the fact that the current thinking favors the abolition of the death sentence. Am I clear? Very good, very good. Moving ahead with question number 5. Question number 5. What is the correct answer to question number 5? Now, here is a woman who was raped in 2012, was in coma and finally died in 2015. So she died in 2015. She did die, right? What does the law say? The law categorically states if there is a death. So the correct answer is yes, since she is dead in 2015, hence application of section 376A will be made applicable on our own. Am I clear? Okay. Moving ahead to the next set of questions. Read the slides very, very carefully. Read the question very carefully. And if you are liking the session, do click on the like button. If you are liking the session, do click on the like button. I'm sure that by now you guys are done reading with this slide. You guys have to be a little fast, okay? I'm sure that by now you guys are done reading with this slide. So moving on to the next slide. Are you guys done? This passage relates to the law of contracts. What is frustration of a contract? That is section 56 contract. Or what are unlawful contracts or a breach of contract? The difference between a breach of contract and when a contract gets frustrated. That is what the passage talks about. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Let's move ahead. Let's move ahead. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Moving ahead to the next slide. Okay, okay, fantastic. Moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, I'm sure that by now you should be done reading with this slide also. So moving on to the next set of questions. What is the correct answer? Please tell me the correct answer. The correct answer is that Amy does not have the intention to perform the contract. Amy does not have the intention to perform the contract. So an anticipatory breach can be filed in a court. Please try to understand. Amy agrees to supply bottles. He was to supply bottles to someone in Mumbai on 17th of September. On 15th, Anu finds out that Amy has not even manufactured the requisite amount of bottles. That means, this ipso facto means that Amy did not have the intention to perform the contract. So the correct answer is option A. Option A is the right answer, and an anticipatory breach of a suit in the nature of an anticipatory breach can be filed against Amy. Moving on to the next question, question number 7. Okay, moving on to question number 7. Okay, so what is the correct answer to question number 7? The correct answer to question number 7 is option B, that the university will have to pay 8% of the promised amount to Shreya. The correct answer is the university will have to pay 8%. She entered, look over here, she entered into a contract with National Law School Odisha to sing in the college fest for rupees 8 lakhs. However, 2 weeks before the test, the Odisha government imposed a lockdown in the state and ordered closure of all government and private academic institutions. The university wants to terminate the contract. In the event the university wants to terminate the contract, they have to pay 80% of the promised amount to Shreya as per the passage. Am I clear? 80. This is 80%. 80, not 8. 80. Am I clear? Okay. Question number 8. Question number 8. Question number 8. What is the correct answer? Very good. Most of you are giving me the correct answer. Now, here is an illiterate woman. Here is an illiterate woman who has put thumb impression on 2 documents. He thinking that both are gift deeds by which he would convey the property to her daughter. However, one of them was a sale deed in favor of his lawyer. Is it a valid sale deed? No, of course not. It was done under mistake. The contract is voice ab initio. So the correct answer is option C. Okay, option C is the right answer. Option C is the right answer, friends. Moving on to question number 9. Moving on to question number 9. What does the author claim about the difference between frustration of contract and breach of contract? What does the author claim about the frustration of contract and breach of contract? The correct answer is frustration of a contract is an automatic repudiation, whereas breach of contract means failing to perform your obligation. So the correct answer is option B. Frustration of contract is an automatic repudiation, whereas breach of contract is failing to perform your part of the promise or the contract. Am I clear? Have I made myself clear? Okay. There is a difference between frustration of a contract and breach of contract. That is what the entire passage talks about. What is frustration? Section 56. And what is breach of contract? If you do not have the intention of doing your promise. Okay. Very good. Question number 10. Now, when you go to a shop to buy a laptop, you think that the laptop is not a defective laptop. It is in a proper condition. Now, do you go to a shop to buy a defective laptop or a nice laptop, which is functional? Now, selling of a defective good amounts to breach of contract. Selling of a defective good amounts to breach of contract. Keep that in your mind. Am I clear? Okay. So the correct answer is option C. Okay. Fantastic. So you guys are understanding these are the kind of questions you will be faced with in your CLAT examination. These are the types of questions, these are the kind of questions you will be facing in your CLAT 2020. Let us move to the next set of questions. Read the passage carefully. So if you are liking the session, do press the like button. Do press the like button if you are liking the session, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel, our Gradeup channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Okay. So this passage talks about the principle of separation of power as propounded by the great French philosopher Montesquieu. Read the passage carefully. Do not be in a hurry. Moving on to the next slide. Moving on to the next slide, friends. Moving on to the next slide. I'm hoping you are reading this slides very, very carefully and understanding what the passage talks about. Separation of power. The legislature, the judiciary, and the executive should be separate. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, I'm sure that by now you guys are done reading with this slide also. Let us begin with the questions. Question number 11 is in front of you. Give me the correct answer. The question is, if the power is concentrated in a single person's hand or a group of people, then it results in what? Very good, very good. It ends up being a cruel, unreasonable, and arbitrary government with unfettered powers. Absolutely, the correct answer is option B. Very good, very good. So, see, what you need to know, you have to understand what the passage says. All you need to do is understand what the passage says. Then, as per the question, read the options. I am sure it will not be difficult for you. It will not be difficult for you to come to the correct answer, friends. It will not be difficult for you once you have read the questions carefully and understood the passage. Okay? First and foremost, understand the passage. Everything will be easy. Question number 12. Now the question says, in India, the Supreme Court has a power to declare a law void if any of the provision of the Constitution is violated by a law that is made by the Parliament. So if the Parliament makes a law which violates any of the provision of the Constitution, then such a law can be declared null and void by the Supreme Court. Now what is this? This reflects the system of checks and balances. This system reflects the system of checks and balances, in which all the three organs intrude into each other to balance them. In case the Supreme Court goes overboard, the Parliament might bring a law. If the Parliament goes overboard, the Supreme Court can curb it down. Right? This is what we understand as the principle of checks and balances. Am I clear? I hope I am clear. Moving on to question number 13. Moving on to question number 13, friends. The question says, considering the reason of the passage, consider a situation in which power is concentrated in the hands of only one organ, that is the legislature. Which of the following will be the outcome? The outcome will be that, please understand this, the outcome will be that the constitutionality of the laws made by the legislature will not be established, as the legislature will make the laws and also interpret them. If there is no courts, if there is no courts in India, what is going to happen? The legislature is going to make the law and it's going to uphold those laws. So the legislature will become the judiciary, and the judiciary loses its power of judicial review. Am I clear? Did you understand? The judiciary will lose its power of judicial review, and Parliament will decide whether their laws which they have made is constitutional or not. This is something like, I am judging myself. There's a principle of natural justice which says no person can be a judge in his own cause. Nemo judex in causa sua. Remember, friends, there is a principle which is known as Nemo judex in causa sua, which means no person can be a judge in his own cause. Now here in this case, if there is only one organ, that is the legislature, then legislature is going to be the judiciary as well as the executive. That cannot be done. So the correct answer is option B. Okay. So if you have liked the section, do press the like button. Do subscribe to our Gradeup channel, and definitely subscribe to Gradeup Super after downloading Gradeup's Android application. Okay, now once you download Gradeup application, and subscribe to Gradeup Super, you get all these courses. These are the courses that are made available to you. You don't have to singularly buy one course. All that you need to do is that you need to subscribe to Gradeup Super, and once you subscribe to Gradeup Super, you can visit all these courses and take part in all these classes. These are some of the free available series which are available on the Gradeup app. Now, do subscribe to Gradeup Super for unlimited access to all our structured live course and mock test. The subscription is available for 24 months, 12 months and for a period of 1 month. This courses will be taught by faculties like Prashant Pandey, Debajyoti Das, Shantanu Jha and myself, Surajit Bhaduri. The other faculties who will also be teaching are Pranav Pant, Ankit Sharma, Ashutosh Gupta, Naveen Iyer, Sano Jam and Savitri Krishnamurthy. Okay. So with this, we come to the end of today's class. Thank you very much. God bless you. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, prep smart, score better, go Gradeup. Thank you. God bless you.